as always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
U.S. Open, nothing better than watching the U.S. Open on Father's Day. And as winner, you got to go with Wyndham Clark, right? Able to close it out. Got a little interesting late there. Looked like he was going to cruise comfortably. Missed a putt there to bogey, I think 14. And now all of a sudden it was back to within one stroke, but was nails down the stretch. That dude is super impressive. Crushes it off the tee. Really good iron play. Just a really good weekend all around from him.
Yeah, I thought his short game was impressive. And there are a couple situations where he had the potential to really blow up on a hole. Right? Remember, he was in the thick stuff and couldn't get it out, but was able to get it out the second time. Only, made bogey there when it could have gotten real dicey. I think it was 16, drove it into that bunker, just got out of it, and then just nailed a wedge within, I don't know, is it 2 feet? I mean, there were some holes where he could have lost that thing, but he was able to salvage some things. And then 17 and 18, guy was cool as a cucumber, man. That was impressive.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. I didn't know, because I've got several things here to classify as both winner and loser. It's a U.S. Open edition for winners and losers for me.
Ooh, I like that.
Schauffele and Rick Fowler
Mm.
both shoot 62. And I don't feel good about that. Right? How did you feel about that? Because you had Johnny Miller shot the final round 63, and then Justin Thomas tied that pretty recently. But when you have two guys go 62, that's never been done. I almost feel like it shouldn't count.
I understand what you're saying. Now, would you feel differently if it would have been like Scheffler and McIlroy?
I would have felt differently if everyone else was over par. Like a U.S. Open, typically it's like they're trying to get the winner that's right there at shoots even par. Like the courses are supposed to be so incredibly difficult.
Okay, so your frustration lies in you think LA Country Club is too easy.
Yes.
Okay, I see that. So you're not mad at Ricky Fowler.
No,
gosh,
I'm happy for Ricky Fowler. I thought it was great to see the position he was in. Now, would have been better. I think everyone, well, maybe not everyone. I'm sure he's got some haters out there, but I think that was one of those guys that found themselves at the top of the leaderboard, and everyone was like, hey, I could get behind Rick Fowler for a weekend and see if he can pull this one off.
I was cheering for him.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, he just never find it on Sunday, man. He was just slightly off. Didn't hit any of those putts that he hit earlier in the week. It just didn't come together for him. And it's funny. He ended up finishing the top 5. If you would have said, with how he's played over the last couple of years, and I know he's been playing better here recently, but if you had said, hey, Ricky Fowler finishes top 5, top 6, whatever he finished in the U.S. Open, everyone would be like, awesome.
Yeah.
But for him to start
Fifth.
Sunday with the lead and then, play the way that he did, it made me sad. And I think it made a lot of people sad because I think you're right. I think a lot of people were cheering for him.
Yeah. Final, he was tied 5th. Wyndham Clark, Rory with, Rory, you feel like I'm kind of one of those that is somewhat rooting for him to pull off another major. He was 2nd, Scheffler 3rd, 7 under, Cam Smith 6 under in 4th, and then you had 3 guys at 5 under. Fleetwood was in that group. Ricky Fowler was in that group, and Fleetwood goes out and shoots 63 in the final round, which is incredible. But again, to the course, it was the greens and around the greens were really tough, but the common complaint was that the fairways were just way too wide for what you typically have in a US Open.
Do you think, because I think I saw that they're going to host it again in 2039 or something like that? Do you think that ends up happening? Do you think that, because remember, there are new golf overlords, or do you see the Department of Justice is looking into that whole thing? Oh, I'm shocked. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if it even happens. But I everything about the LA Country Club and the lack of atmosphere, it was like the most LA thing ever. I hated it.
Yeah.
There was no buzz except for that damn airplane that was buzzing the course the entire. Oh my god! I thought I was going to go crazy, Ted.
I saw you comment on that. Did you see someone finally check like the flight path? Did you see the flight path thing?
What was happening? Because if you watched the U.S. Open, the final round of the U.S. Open on Sunday, all you heard was airplane noise. That was it.
Someone posted like, I guess it's like the flight path tracker for whatever plane that was, and it's just like an endless
It's just
circle.
a circle. What the hell was that?
It was wild. You're right though. It was a very it didn't have the wild atmosphere feeling of a US Open.
There were not enough
very
people.
Country club feeling, right?
They didn't let enough people in.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be America's golf tournament. It needs to have some juice. They can't do that. Don't do that again. That sucked. And even the players said it sucked. Everyone, they were all like, this sucks. This atmosphere sucks.
Yep. Yeah, it was odd. I think everyone or a lot of people probably, did you see that what Portnoy posted of Fowler hitting that long putt? And it's like, there's like a group of his friends are the only people there watching. What is happening right now? Yeah. It's right though. Like typically a guy like Ricky Fowler, who entered the thing as an absolute long shot, it's been a long time since he's had any success, does something like that, and it's like, pandemonium out there. So yeah, that's not good. Not good.
Any other US Open thoughts before I spring an idea I had on you?
Well, I got to hear the idea.
Okay. So after 13 or so, it was 13, I'm pretty sure. Ricky Fowler was 5 back, I want to say. So you're 5 back. You've got what, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You got 5 to play.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely, right? Especially with the way that he was playing. Okay. So hear me out. Rory McIlroy was in the group in front of him. There should be some governing body, advisory board, who has the authority. And these are only in select situations. You can't do this all the time, but it would be the entertainment czar of golf, right? And you say, hey, Rory, hold up. You got to wait on this group behind you, right? And you and Wyndham Clark are now in a pairing together for these last 5 holes. And Ricky Fowler is now playing with Scotty Scheffler. And you guys go ahead. Scotty and Ricky, you go ahead. Hey, whatever happens, happens. But we're going to have the 2 guys that have the best chance of winning the golf tournament for these last 5 holes. We're going to pair them up and we're going to let them go at it. And they're going to feel the pressure of playing with each other. None of this, he's in the group before and you're going to wait on. No. We are changing it up at the very end.
I like it. Flex pairing.
Yes. It's just, we could call it entertainment, flex entertainment pairings.
Yeah. This tournament is, you have to be prepared for flex entertainment pairings. Now I think you got to have pairings that are linked, right? That are connected. And should it happen at the turn? Like that's kind of where it needs to happen. It either happens at the turn or it doesn't.
I think it should be able to. This is all about
whenever.
we are trying to create entertainment. And I know that golf is a flow and rhythm sport. I understand that. And there's a certain rhythm to playing your 18 holes and going and just going. But listen, man, this is a TV show, right? I mean, that's what it is. Now, there's a lot of people at the tournament. I get that. But it is an entertainment product. And you know what? It would have been much more dramatic is Wyndham Clark with the one-shot lead standing over that tee shot on 18 with Rory McIlroy sitting there right there with his arms crossed going, all right, buddy.
That's true.
I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. Let's see if you can do it. And I just think that would create so much more drama and it would make it much more entertaining for all fans. Really, the players may hate it. Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah.
It's clear that the PGA Tour doesn't care about what their players think. So let's make this thing as entertaining as possible. Flex entertainment pairings.
Now, I love that idea. It's good. It's what everyone wants to see. Now, I did have an idea today for maybe an alternate golf league where the entire field plays at the exact same time. You could pick any hole you want to start on, and it's like a 2-hour event. You play, like everyone plays at the same time. There's no waiting. You're hitting into people because you've got to get your round done in 2 hours. Everyone at the same exact time.
It's a mix of live golf and the Hunger Games, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, live golf, Hunger Games, a little bit of Survivor type of thing in there too. Yeah.
Do you form alliances and then just try to like pepper and kill someone with golf balls?
You try and get your whole team together. Guys, let's start on number 5. We'll stay together. All right. We'll help each other eyeball where our tee shots go. We'll run in packs.
I don't know if we can create an entire league this way, but I bet you we could make like a charity event with this as the concept, and there'd be some people interested. You may have to wear hard hats or football helmets.
Wear a helmet
for liability purposes.
Wear a helmet, but there's shotgun start. Everyone's got, like, I don't know what the exact time is, but it's got to be to where everyone feels like being in good condition is part of it.
Could you imagine a whole group of people turn against you? You're trying to putt, and they're all like 100 yards out,
like
ready to
darts coming at the same time,
simultaneously fire wedges at you. Oh,
it'd be good.
Yeah, I don't think the insurance people would be thrilled about the concept, but it does sound it does sound entertaining.
Well, I do love the flex pairings, though. I think that one's probably a little bit more realistic. And because here's the thing, in all honesty, if you're tracking ratings and like the final, you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to keep eyeballs there. That is how you would keep eyeballs on it. Right. And they're in it for the money, right? We can't forget what this thing is. All of this is actually about. So, I don't think it's as far-fetched as maybe some might believe.
I know the golfers will hate it, and I have no idea.
But they're watching the scoreboard anyways. It's not like someone would be springing something on them quickly, right?
No.
If as you're closing out the round and you start to see the leaderboard, it's like, okay, the switch up's about to happen.
And you just the concussion doctor in the NFL. He's got the red hat on or the blue hat, whatever color it is. You just someone's going to have something identifiable on. You walk up, he grabs Rory, says, "Come with me."
Yeah, it's like you
Scotty,
see a little crowd of suits start to show up on the side. You know what's about to happen.
Exactly. It's like, all right, you have been flexed to the final pair, and let's do this.
Very cool.
I just want to point out, I've never heard anyone else throw that idea out there. I'm sure someone has before. It's just something that I was thinking of in that moment because Ricky Fowler, he wasn't playing well, and
it's probably something that everyone has thought of. It's like, it'd be fun. It'd be way cooler if this was happening like together instead of separated. So
yeah, probably will never happen, but sure would be cool.
Take credit for it if it does.
Come on, of course. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They've got 9 full service dealerships in Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. You buy a new or used car from them. All you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive, axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair costs. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. Come on, people, make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with LSU baseball. Won their first game there in Omaha at the College World Series, beat Tennessee 6-3, beat the conference foe that had to feel good. But the real dominance is what that fan base is doing in the Rocco's Jello Shot competition. My goodness. If it wasn't for Wake Forest, Ted, they would have consumed more than the 7 other schools combined. But, hey, Wake Forest is representing. They're doing a really good job.
It's crazy. It's also like the greatest scam, or it's not necessarily a scam, but it's brilliant marketing to where you pit the fan bases against each other buying Jello shots. It's like the greatest thing ever. And it's got, it probably pays for the bar for the entire year just off of the Jello shots that are going on.
Yeah, and the Jello shots are $5 this year, not $4.50.
Inflation, God.
Yeah, but current tally: LSU 11,948. Second place, Wake Forest 4,744. So yeah, that is a dominant performance from the Tigers fan base. My goodness, which I'm not surprised. That's what I said. They were the heavy betting favorite in the Jello shots race coming into the tournament.
That's $75,000 in Jello shots from those 2 fan bases alone, and we're just getting this thing kicked off. We're just getting started.
Yeah, that is. It's a lot of Jello.
A lot of Jello. Cheap though. Jello's cheap, man.
It's true. It's true. All right. I also thought about going with Bradley Beal. I don't know if it's going to work, but now you've got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Somehow DeAndre Ayton was not in that trade. I don't know what you're doing, Washington, but hey, Bradley Beal's got to look at it and go, hey, I'm on the Suns. This is going to be fun. I've been stuck in purgatory in Washington for forever. So I don't know if it's going to work out well for the Suns. I really hope it doesn't. Honestly, I kind of hope that whole thing just crashes and burns. I'm not going to lie, but it's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah. It's worked both ways, obviously, but the Frankenstein team where you take a bunch of different big personalities and guys that are already established stars and kind of throw it all together to see if it mixes well. Sometimes the results are good. Other times they're disastrous.
Yeah. I would prefer they be disastrous, right? Just because now the Thunder are back in it. Suns are in the West. I'd hope it kind of falls apart.
Yeah. Well,
that new owner of theirs, my goodness, that dude has done a lot very quickly.
Well,
traded for Durant, fired Monty Williams. Now he's traded for Beal. Like that dude is. Oh, he flopped in that playoff game. Also, that was hilarious. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, that was good. Well, hey, have fun with it, I guess. If you're owner of a sports franchise, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Make some moves.
Yeah, but my winner of the weekend, Michael Jordan, selling the majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets to a group where the valuation is approximately $3 billion. Now, he's still going to have a minority stake in the team and reportedly will have some type of presence with the team. But now, if you look at ownership and you view being a successful owner, if you view it as, hey, you got to win games, you got to win playoff series, you got to go to the finals, like all that stuff. If you view it that way, Michael Jordan was a very bad owner. The results, they did not get the results there in Charlotte. They just didn't. 13 seasons, never won a playoff series, lost a ton of games. Just didn't work the way a lot of people thought it was going to work with him running things. If you view successful ownership as you bought it for $275 million in 2010, and now you are selling it for a $3 billion valuation. Now, I don't know the percentages, but I know this. He made he made what's the proper metric? A buttload of money buying it and selling it, right? And they made him not won a ton of games and had a ton of success on the court, but that man made a lot of cash.
Boy, they did. He did. I mean, yeah, it's that 275 million is like you're right. I'm not sure what the percentages are, but you 10x 275, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And he sold some of his stake back in 2020. And so I don't know exactly how that all works. I'm not a smart guy. That's just with the numbers. It's not.
You're a smart guy with the numbers. You just don't have access to all the
I
numbers.
don't have access to the numbers, and I don't really care that much. I know we made a ton of money doing it.
Ton of money.
They lost a bunch of games. People talked a lot about how he wasn't a great owner. The franchise wasn't winning games, but made a ton of money. It's a solid win.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, 2010, it's like it almost he almost made like what he paid for it every year he owned it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even count. Like, I don't know how the income part of it works either. It's not, I'm sure he was taking some out, as it was growing as well, using it as a bit of a piggy bank. But yeah, Jordan's definitely a winner when it comes to this. Whenever they're talking about him years from now, no one's going to care about what he was as an owner. They're going to be laughing at the billions next to his name.
Yeah. Good for him. He brought me a lot of joy as a child. Good for him.
Yep.
All right. For my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Ja Morant. The suspension finally came down. 25 games. He'll be suspended the first 25 games of next season. Going to cost him, from what I read, just a casual $7.6 million. And that doesn't even factor in endorsement money and all that stuff. That was the most expensive IG Live ever, right? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Half a second cost him like $8 million.
Yeah.
Now, bad choices too, but
sure.
But if the IG Live doesn't happen, he keeps that $8 million.
I kind of feel like by the way things were sounding, I feel like the 25 games is almost like he ended up getting off light, because there was a point there where it was sounding like it was going to be really, really bad. Like, I thought like maybe they were going to give him a full year. Whenever you heard Silver kind of talking about like we've come across new information, and it's like, oh boy, when they start digging, it's like, what are they going to find? So 25 games, that's a huge chunk. And that's going to be a tough chunk for, I know money wise for him, but that's a big chunk for his team to see where they end up. Cause it could factor in whenever you talk about playoff matchups and everything. So it's wild.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Now, hopefully, this John Morant will put all this behind him and he'll end up just having an awesome rest of his career. That's my hope because he's incredibly entertaining to watch. But my loser of the weekend, Bob Huggins, man, yikes. Resigned after he was arrested for DUI this weekend. And according to the reports, the arrest reports, guy didn't know what city he was in, didn't know what state he was in, behind the wheel of a car. Blood alcohol content was 0.21.
Wow.
Which you are drunk as a skunk at 0.21.
You're
empty
starting
beer.
to get to what, 3 times the legal limit they're approaching, right?
Yeah. So empty beer cans in the car. And this is only, I mean, we're not far removed from him making an absolute fool of himself on that radio show in Cincinnati. I know I am a firm believer in, hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? Life is about choices, and you have to live with the consequences of the choices that you make, right? And he did some really dumb stuff, and these are the consequences. But I do hate that this is how he's going out, man. I mean, guy just made the Hall of Fame. He's a legend there in Morgantown, grew up there, played there. And for him to be like, this is how the book ends for him. Like, this is the last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bummer, man. And I know it's the result of him doing some really dumb stuff. I get that. But it's still just when I heard about it, when it started coming out on Twitter, it made me sad, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. And it's you get the feeling like we're kind of catching the end of the spiral, right?
Yeah.
Like how long has some of this behavior been going on? And I don't know, but that's incredibly dangerous. You can't just flat out, you can't do that. It's not just a bad look, and a bad look for his like reputation and how people view him. He's lucky he didn't kill somebody if he's getting out of a car and he doesn't even know what state he's in, So
his tire was all messed up. Like tire was flat and shredded and didn't even I mean, that dude was drunk.
I hope he gets the help that he needs.
Absolutely. And not his first DUI either.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to his Cincinnati days, that was one of the things that they pointed to and reason he got pushed out there. So he's a Hall of Fame coach that has meant he's meant a ton to that university and that community. He's done a lot of good things when it comes to charity and all that. But and this is a part of his story now.
Yep.
And that's just for his chapter at West Virginia, for the last 2 bullet points to be, homophobic slur on radio show and then DUI that led to resignation. Those are not the last 2 bullet points you want in your career. And
nope.
I maybe he's not done coaching, but
that's what I was about to ask.
He's almost 70.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's like, he's resigned. Do you think there's any way that he gets back into the game and goes through some obviously a recovery period here to try and get things in order? Does he feel like he's got to bounce back somewhere, maybe to save his reputation, or is this really it?
Yeah. I don't know. But West Virginia's a solid job, right? In the Big 12 conference. There's going to be a lot of coaches that are interested, but Ren Baker, the new athletic director, there, shout out, Oklahoma guy. But he's a very tough spot to go find a coach, even though it is an appealing job, to go find a coach in the middle of June. Bob Huggins and their collective, they just got very organized and signed a hell of a transfer class. And now with what the rules are, like, those guys don't have to stick around. They're free. So they're free to leave if they want to leave. So it could be a bad week for West Virginia basketball, and I think it's about to get even worse here over these
Well,
next couple days.
part of that is it makes your job search not easier, but you can sell the team that you got right now, a little bit, and I don't know, be fascinating to see what they do and if those guys stick around.
Yeah. On a rather, I don't know, that wasn't fun. What on a rather
Should we end on winners next time?
Yeah, maybe.